All right, welcome back. Lagos lawmakers impeach Obasa amid scandal. I'm looking at a report here on People's Gazette. Some kind of Naira fraud stuff. Okay, I'm just going to read a little bit, then maybe you can bring us up to speed. Because so you had a little special to share with us around this as well. Mr. Obasa was subsequently replaced by his deputy Lasbat Miranda. Mrs. Miranda, who represents Apapa Constituency 1, was also a former chief whip of the House. The removal came days after the Gazette reported how Mr. Obasa oversaw the withdrawal of 43.5 billion naira for backup vehicles for lawmakers as well as other controversial activities. People Gazette understands that Mr. Obasa was in Atlanta when he was impeached. Oh, interesting. Anyway, I'm going to hand it over to you from there. I think you were following this story.
Please, you want to remind me of the first name of Honorable Obasa?
Honor his first name, Obasa. Is it Obasa? Obasa.
Oba,
Oba,
Obasa.
Obasa. Is it Mudashiru?
Mudashiru
Mudashiru.
Obasa. Yes.
Aha, Mudashiru. Yep. Yep. It's a
Thank you so
52
much.
year old man, a
Mm-hmm.
Nigerian lawyer, politician who served as the Speaker of
And
Lagos State House of Assembly
and
from
he's been on the saddle for
2015. 10
he's been
years.
on the he's been on the saddle for 10 years. Between him and the former speaker, Mr. Pelumi, I do not know because that one also seemed like somebody who was there for 10 years. But by how many months, how many weeks, how many days, we do not know who between them has served the longest. But the point must be made that when we hear of all these uh, shadows and substance in politics, we
Hmm.
must really learn not to be sucked in, not to be taken for a sucker by politicians. Because what is being sold to the public will be uh, may not be in agreement, may not be in concordance with what actually transpired between them.
Right.
Politicians, for example, there have been a situation in which uh, Mudashiru Obasa has been said to be nursing the ambition of becoming the successor to the man at Alausa, that is the governor of the state,
Sanwo-Olu.
Sanwo-Olu. And
Sanwo-Eko.
this guy, that's right. Is he really carrying on in a manner that suggests that this man owns Sanwo-Eko? And probably he is. You and I may not be able to draw that conclusion because this is an exchange of ideas between him and his political associates and surrogates.
Hmm.
But at some point, right to the face of the governor, Obasa was alleged to have made a, a most insensitive statement saying that, oh, he is eminently qualified to be the future governor of Lagos State. After all, some people have been in that office that are not more qualified than him. And that a lot of people felt was spiteful towards the incumbent governor when he said that day. And from that moment, he'd become a madman.
Hmm.
So if today it's been because ahead of this, there had been all kinds of speculation. At a time when the ultimate political godfather in Lagos, President Bola Tinubu himself was in town, they had series of marathon meetings with him
Hmm.
where he was pleading and trying to see if they could mend fences and what have you. What we may not be able to say precisely is whether he, but really, I don't even want to go that far. It would not have been a success. Whoever the the father, like they would say in uh, ancient Rome, referring to lawmakers or senators as the fathers of or father of conspiracies or conspirators. These conspiracies or sets of conspiracies wouldn't have really been successful without the blessing of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, mind you. Are you listening?
I'm listening.
So,
Like you can hear me,
how bad?
right?
I can hear you. How bad could it have been? How bad could his conduct have been? Because people said he suffered for gladly, that he had this air of arrogance around him, and that. But one thing they have not taken away from him is the fact that he commanded a kind of presence in an unusual way as the presiding officer of the Lagos State House of Assembly. And really, everybody is saying that, he was impeached because of financial impropriety. From the report you read from Gazelle, backup vehicles did he buy all the backup vehicles for himself?
Well,
And really,
here's let me read this to you. They say repeated charges of fraud and political thuggery have marked his speakership. In 2020, the Gazette published a series of investigations detailing
so
how
where all these series published and all in 10 years, this man carried on with that kind of political brigandage. This is the point I'm making. What the undercurrent may be different from what they are telling the public. It's about shadow and substance. See, it's just time for them to sacrifice him. They have done that. They should shudder. And then,
so it's a liability basically.
Yeah, they cannot turn their issues, their personal differences. We have seen it before. People fighting on the board of a company, and then bringing that to political arena, and then everywhere was set on fire. Nigerians should, maybe we blame it on people who took away history from the curriculum of our schools or whatever. But people should learn from history. I've listened to so many people on this. One thing I know is that you may be too good for some people while serving in office. I have my own issues like that. A lot of people felt like, Odokwetu will not be compromised. Why don't we sacrifice him? And you think people who are saying, you are a decent man, you think all of them will be for you. By the way, even God repented creating human beings. So if the vast majority of human beings are incapable of doing good according to Jesus Christ, all these people castigating him, they did not reject those backup vehicles that he gave to them. Now they have suddenly risen.
I mean, before you could make it to that level,
Yes, 10 years. He survived it. The point I'm making here is that Mudashiru Obasa should also look and afford himself some moments of self-defecation. For example,
are you saying he should go home peacefully?
No, he will sit in that assembly now. They have not, you see, they have not said he's suspended from the House of Assembly. They have not said he's been expelled from the House of Assembly. They have not instigated the electors in his constituency to recall him. They have not done any of that. He should sit down there. He has led for 10 years. Now is the time for him also to sit down like an obedient classroom individual and just take the lesson of humility. You may be on an upswing at some point. At some point, that pendulum too.
You'll be humbled.
That's right. It's an humbling experience. But would he be so humble as to take it in? I personally would love. I have had those moments in life. That, I'm down. I'm learning something just about the nature of humans. Because everybody that is clapping yesterday, you are the best speaker, you are this, you are that, you are distinguished, or you are the right honorable. Not all of them are for you. Some teachable moments, some moments for him to learn certain things about the dynamics of living and life. You understand this point? And for every other person that's been used to get this done, they also should watch out. It may be their turn.
It's coming for everybody.
Fire next time. So, yeah. So, Mudashiru Obasa does not have my sympathy like that because politicians are capable of
It's politics.
all kinds,
Yeah,
all kinds.
yeah.
But for the people who are saying crucify him, we have succeeded at nailing him to the cross. Don't mind them. Some of them also sang Kumbaya and Hosanna for him or in his support day before today.
All right, please join the conversation in the chat. That was fun to listen to.
Yeah, and
Police.
the good thing is that let us congratulate our women folks. Lagos has scored another point, having
The
its,
deputy.
having its first female speaker. That's a great one. But the last time we had a speaker in the National Assembly, House of Representatives, even for doing nothing, charges were trumped up against her. Years later, we were hearing she didn't do anything, just that the lawmakers wanted her sacrifice. I hope the story of this new speaker, the Right Honorable Speaker of Lagos State House of Assembly, will not go that way. We should allow people with genuine ideas to thrive. Let them survive that way. One piece at a time. We can save Nigeria. This is what I have to say about this moment. But very thoughtful and really sobering. And this has been happening so often in Lagos. We hope the center will be able to hold for some longer time. We don't want that place to break up in pieces. And for the godfathers who find it so easy to change and interchange and exchange, they should wash out. They should wash out. This is all I've got to say.
All right, thank you. Please join the conversation. Even though we're at the top of the hour, we have one more story to cover, and we'll be right back.